When executing simulations, which is stimulating the basic units of informations that has been analyzed by the maximum connection of logic, relevance, and the network of knowledge, for how it has to be made is just cloning, because it has to be processed in juxtapositional matter from the original one. The exact copy or executor has to be cloned, and that one is only dedicated to a certain kind of simulation that is executed. And when the simulation is engaging in, only a small fraction, only a small part of it as a fraction will be used, as small as 0.1, 0.01%, and as much as 1% or 2%. But really, as the knowledge grows for its accumulation of executions, generally, each simulations will take part of smaller and smaller portions of the entire magnitude of knowledge, because it is so big compared to the simulations on what is executing. Of course, as the accumulation of entire knowledge grows, so does the size of average simulation, but the gap will have a big difference as the accumulation goes faster than the general size of simulation grows. Well, either way, how after cloning the original knowledge, which is always up to date on that specific time, on any given moment of learning, cloning the exact copy as an up to date simulations are engaging in, which only takes a small fraction part of it, of the entire network of knowledge, only like using 0.123% of the entire capacity, but just luring out only like a search and find and drag it down to the another space doesn't happen, because the code information has its value, because it is connected and can be analyzed thus by that connection. So independently in severing the connections, losing its meaning and a value, and just drag it down to the separate area for only what is pertaining to that specific simulation will not happen, because it cannot make a logic. So it will remain its structure for its highest density and diversity of connections, for those dots of information, for its maximum status of logic relevance, which is up to date. So as it is exactly cloned to another area of simulation, it is not dismantled to calling for just pertaining information, but it will remain its structure as it is. And when the simulation comes in, which is just a progressive connection, initiating new connections, trying new experiments, just having to try the different dots, different connections around it, and if it doesn't make any logic, you retract, you cut it off. But if it makes sense, you connect around the new information where hasn't been explored. uh, when you do that, the new information, the C information comes in when the connection between the information A and information B, those dots are connected with that. New analysis comes in, which is another information C that is connected around that A and B information. Newly formed, you do make a simulation around that proposed area. On that area, informations are stimulated on each of those dots, newly trying to form connections for what haven't yet been explored before. When you do that, information comes in. Well, that is just a process of simulation, and that is just our task for how to make really that physical structure. Connecting the lines and how the new knowledge can be processed as the information A and B is connected and computed. The computing on its process is will it be just a combination? And the definition of application goes beyond the combination, which really speaks for combining the common elements in the cohorted area, but the application goes beyond the border of the cohorted group to the another group, which extends literally connection, but you utilize the core concept of the information and two different informations whose connections are not yet made is newly tried now. Rare is not being explored. That is tried now, and what does happen, like forms, and how the action for connecting the dots, making a cable around information and between it. Well, it is solved when the computer makes how to compute. 진짜 씨발이네 이거. The one can study, the one can applicate, the one can speak, but the one doesn't know how it does that. What the fucking is that even possible? Utilizing a structure but doesn't know its existence of very structure it utilizes upon that. Utilizing a structure but it doesn't know its existence, its very existence, its very physical existence that is used on that each and every computing file. Well, the form of simulation, executing simulation, is just simulation. The word definition of simulation is just trying to connect new lines, new connections. That is all. When it makes sense, like not logic, it goes. when it doesn't make any sense, like banana and battery, or the pillow and the book, and the wall and electric device charger. It doesn't have any correlation to have any common area. So the reason of why I'm speaking on this recorder repeatedly, even though I do not have any novel ideas to record on, it's because the novel ideas are created from these initiative stress tests, as we are all doing. It is a progressive, proactive stimulation upon the network of knowledge whose existence is not really known until the stimulation is inflicted upon that is, which is exactly what we're doing to know from it. Yeah. Training hard, the hard way. Now, when the connections are made, like analyzation happens, is that automatic? And how to make the new information and make a form with a conversion of energy into your computing unit and make it, place it, connect it. Haha, that is all. But how to make that really? Information can really make its form as just another combination of basic elementary units, which is a atom. A combination of atom is molecule, and the combination of molecule goes polymolecule, meaning those giant structure to make on each and every combinations can really designate the informations, correlating informations as the combination of alphabet, which is a basic elementary unit, basic unit, as the alphabet A to Z is just another translation of atoms and molecules. And from that combination of alphabets, you make a code. And from the combination of molecules, you make an information corresponding to code, alphabet corresponding to the molecules. Meaning the informations physically are really made. Now, on the brain of this speaker, the fucking right now, this very speaker, informations are formed and connected and bespoken. Now, physically, informations do exist, and we do convert from the information to the code named English. Now, do exist on that information, and you do know, which is just a differentiated sole proprietor of its unique combination of molecule that is designated to that specific information, 1-to-1 ratio as corresponder, as code to information. The combination of molecule to be really used as a unit of computing, and how the molecules can compute. The definition of compute is to just connect and analyze. The connecting itself makes an analyzation. 미치겠다. And how the connection, like you say the word synapse, there's a unit of neuron and those bridges. The real maker of knowledge is the connection. The bridge is called a synapse. how the synapses are made. You will ever and ever, will forever, however much ever and forever use the word electricity. And just under the combination of chemistry, the signals are made. And how you imagine how the electricity can really be used as a, medium of transferring of information. Having a medium, I think, unless that electricity do have a differentiator, like the frequency from 1 nanometer, like 0.001 nanometer to 1,000 nanometers to 100 centimeter to 100 meters to like 1 kilometers, like that range of like electromagnetic wave for that differentiator, which is the frequency, which is a medium of communication that we are using now with the cell phones, military boys, satellites, cars, radios, microwaves. We do use for those, each of which different parts designated into the specified parts. Unless that electricity has that differentiator as to convey the as to convey the information, convey that specific unique form of information, which is the combination of molecule. Unless the electricity as a medium as transponder transfer can make its differentiating value as a specific frequency on the EM wave to the corresponding unit, which is the combination of molecule. And when it can really make having electricity as a medium, which can be used as a differentiator of information, different combinations of molecule, different combinations of the attributes of electricity. What the fuck? Unless it does and can, it won't act as a transfer of information. But I think on the human brain, electricity will work as a stimulator for calling, like Google searching and finding the information. What are the pertaining, correlating, connected information on that required searched word, searched information comes into play. Which means when the information, newly searched information comes in, the electricity has to stimulate around the network. It is just a calling from the newly information being a specific code that electricity has to convey that code. No, it's just another cases, but same thing. Now, we think about this situation. You read a book written in Korean, Dutch, English, Français, Ruski, Espanol, Latino, a lot of different. But when you do read it, that combination of code, alphabet, as a word is converted to the real information that you have. If you do know the French language, the real information has as a compadre really translated really as a same value corresponding relation is 1-to-1 ratio when an image and the texture, the color, the sphere, shape, size, texture of apple really exist in your brain, but you call that object as a fruit an apple in like a French word, what would be? If you do have an analysis data information of on the subject, on the object apple, you do have a correlating code, an apple. And when you do see a word apple in the book, you see from that paper to with your eyes and convert that word into a corresponding form of information which is that exact copy of information, corresponding information that you like APPLE, that 5 letters combination is a same thing when you do see that APPLE is a same thing with your real physical information about apple, which is just a translation having a same value. When you do see a code of apple, with the code is just combination of it is just a translator. It doesn't really have any value, but as a direct relationship, that code immediately when you see an APPLE for that combination, as it is designated into another corresponding combination of molecules, which is directly linked, meaning that combination of apple is directly linked to the real image, texture, spherical shape and size, color of an apple, which means when you do see the combination of apple, you really, from that direct translation, from the visual having a white background but as a differentiator from a color as a mediator, which is a black, pitch black, APPLE, is that light source carrying information is converted to the combination of molecule, which is a direct translation, just another word of real information of apple. Meaning, in short, when you do see an apple, the real information resultantly about apple is stimulated. Wow. And when you imagine the sentence, apple is red and have an acid. Yes. Having that sentence into the real computing, you have to translate from apple has a red color. You have to translate what the combination of alphabet has would really mean, which is a connected selected code. That preset code the combination of has to be stored in the brain, that it has a generalized meaning that something really have something contain, something owns, okay? That which also exists as a generalized information makes the translation of HAS, the combination possible to analyze as that combination. It really means a generalized conception of having, containing, owning in your real physical information. Okay, apple has a red color, meaning what the definition of red mean, which is another specific EM wave for its frequency of applying frequency of EM wave, and you do match with that red color too, that frequency and color, what the word color means, which is under a certain range area of visible electromagnetic spectrum, where from red to violet, which is generalized for named as a color. So from that range, and you select the red. Yes, and since has means having, containing it, meaning that sentence analogy would be apple for its real information, as previously mentioned, its size, shape, texture, color, is connected to, because it has means it connects under that category. Apple has a red color, meaning has means a containing as a subordinated as a subset, subset of that, like a diagram of the relation. Apple has a red color, which is right. Okay. An apple has an acidity, acid. What is the definition, objective and accurate definition of acid is, okay? For that chemical definition, the corresponding information is really physically stored. And when you do see a word acid, that is converted to the corresponding combination of molecule which contains the value, the criterion for differentiating whether a thing has an acidity or not. For that particular property as an attribute for that specific chemical precision, chemical attribute having an acidity, that information is stimulated. An apple, with an apple, an acidity is connected, and from that connection can computer know and have a knowledge that apple has a red color, and also apple has an acidity from those two newly created connections, which is sourced from a book. Now the real operation is to make that real physical structure. Chemistry is a basic element, like a building block of everything. So, as to be a constructor, you have to know with what blocks, what construction materials, and what methods as a structure will you use to make a machine. By the utilization of a combination of basic building blocks under the name of chemistry, oh bloody yeah. Now, from seeing all over the world it's written in fucking English dictionary, having a Collins unaveraged English dictionary spanning over 800,000 words, but everybody would know, for the one who have studied and ruminated what the real essence of code is, which means it's just an exact copy of information to the code set. Meaning, what really is a knowledge as genuine information, only that has to be translated into code, for what is not translated into code. Only under 5%, 40,000 of all those words would have a real meaning now. Meaning 95% of all is just a fucking shit. All over your investment of 100 hours to analyze the dictionary is really, literally dissipated, squandered for 95 hours, and only have real worth is 5 hours. All those are dissipated as just an ignorant job. So for seeing a lot of thick book, no, I think that we have just make it from the ground up. A sorting for which word has a real meaning. It makes only the set that is under a discipline of mathematics, chemistry, biology, all the biology, meaning machine, engineering, technology, all Spanish words, physics. Well, that is all under that core principles. When the informations are divided by the interdisciplinary connection, making applications, even the technologies and engineerings are the application of the core principles of chemistry, mathematics, and physics. And not mathematics is not just a translation of chemistry and physics for those interactions and relationships that are delineated by that exact logic. No, mathematics is not just a language that is just translated and having no meaning intrinsically, but since the word mathematics referring for the objective logic set is not exactly this right word. Meaning like a biology has to be superseded by the word machine, okay? And the technology and engineering is superseded by the name of application. Physics remaining physics. Chemistry, I don't know, remaining element, okay? Chemistry for having its own origin, but sucker, just the essence of chemistry is all about the interaction of and finding the basic element of matter. So it has to be preceded by the name element, okay? Element, physics, machine, and applications, also the materials. And mathematics is preceded by the name of logic. All things are just logic. All disciplines from spanning machine to material to physics and elements. Those are just under the name of logic thing. Mathematics is a language of a science, but that is just a language that acts like English, Dutch, a lot of words. It is not that. The language is that the one is using now, as the one is speaking right now, it's just a translation of information. And when this information is to be delineated by the name of mathematics, it is to be more accurate, okay? So, what we're going to make as a code set is exactly resembling with the mathematics. It's because it really is the essence, okay? Mathematics is not having A or other B meaning, no. Just logic, okay? It is acted by the name of that currently, and no. So, uh, dictionaries for that American Heritage, Collins and Oxford and Cambridge, all over, those are uh, spanning from A to Z alphabetically. I think that when the one wants to find a certain word, what the one has the information on the word that it wants to find is just a combination of alphabet. So it has no information about that word, but only the combination of alphabet. Whereas in Avon, it is managed ignorantly from A to Z for because its purpose is like the one to find the word easily because the one who is finding the information only knows about the combination, not the disciplines, meaning areas of knowledge. So it does know the field area of it. So it has to be reorganized with the more higher set of organization. And when making the network of organization, it has to be named under the name of certain discipline, and those are connected. Making a code and organize the code into groups, and so is the network of knowledge. And the code newly making is not colloquial, okay? Is not made for verbal fucking shit. It is just a logic relation which exactly copies the relationship of those information to the code, okay? It is just another set, only that it has not intrinsically having a genuine meaning as an information, but it's just translation into a code. But its structure for the relationship of all knowledges are exactly the same. It necessarily makes when the one wants to organize all knowledges of all STEM sciences that one have made, the one will discover that it has only to be made by the thorough logic for its relations. All over the relations are exactly copied, meaning the one can easily identify what information is, meaning what dots are in the network and what connections have been made. So the one can find out what connections are not made, making new applications easily without having a innovative word, creativity, imagination. It is just a connection, okay? Creativity and imagination is just a word of ignorance because it likes it makes a confusion, a misconception that it is made out of fucking thin air. No, it is not. The bloody example is the Leonhard Euler. Leonhard is a Swiss boy. Leonhard Euler. He's a great man. Henri Poincaré is a French boy. Great man, yeah. As those, you would naturally know what the knowledge is. It is made by the thorough fucking connection. Now, when the one studies a lot, it does not have any meaning, okay? When the one wants to the name of mathematics, it has to be from the combinations and numbers and functions, matrices, geometries, and metries. Those all analyzation tools are combined into one volume, one count of book. No need to find a lot of bloody books whose range of knowledge spanning from this certain point to the certain point, not from the very start to the very end. Its ranges are very different, but none of which spans from the very first to the very end, which, when it goes, it just shrinks down into one volume when the one wants to study all the knowledge that was accumulated from the fucking boys are just possible to be studied only from reading just one kind of book, even it be 5,000s of pages. It is just a single fucking volume, okay? Now, finding the very origin, the hidden knowledges, what was the cause for its development, what was the cause for making that concept, what incident had inspired, transpired the evolution, the invention of those tools. It is very necessary because that tool, although it is made from those applications, but knowing the genesis of those those first creation is very imperative to know, because when the one knows that genesis, the one also knows what incidents, what experiments, what case can let the computer make another new kind of mathematic concepts, okay? So it has to be started not from the fucking number, but from the humans' genuine fucking experiences which made those creation of concepts possible. So when the one wants to know about the discipline of biology, it has to start not from the fucking anatomy or physiology or molecular or cell biology, but it starts not immunology, pathology, fuckinology. It starts from the chemistry, not the fucking biology. It starts from the chemistry and its combination, molecules, compounds, polys, and organs and structures in the macro perspective, how those just a sum of the molecules can be organized into literally organ to make a certain functionalized machine, a part, a gear, a cog of machine, and just goes operating. Its attribute, its property was changed from the simple combination of molecule to the macro perspective. It acts differently. It is combined like a company. It was congregated, converged into one piece for acting as having a single purpose for operating the machine. As those are combined, it made a fucking human. So that is the exact process from the genesis of creation of fucking molecules in the fucking 4.5 billion years to the single cellular, unicellular to the multicellular boys, and for the more compounded boys, okay? It is not starting from the fucking anatomy. It doesn't have any meaning because the one does not know by what materials, by what essences it is created, okay? So biology, even though it can have a lot of information compared to the mathematics, but let's say 8,000 pages. 8,000 pages. Even though it be 8,000 pages and it cannot really make under one book, but making a divide with 1,000 per 1,000 book per 1,000 unit, making 8 divided section, but it is under the same theme, okay? From the first, second, third to 8th, those combined are books. When the one reads it, analyzes it, and really knows from the essence of it, it is just exactly and completely transferred from the thousands of years of humans' ingenuity. And from those all experiences, it is just transferred easily from those 8 books, okay? In mathematics, just reading 5 books per 1,000 units, just 5 books and 8 books. The one knows from the genuine genesis of the starting point to till this time for following the exact trees, branches, ramifications for those applications from the core concept. It really understands, okay? Now, it does not have to. I read hundreds of fucking books as I have now. Thousands of fucking books to read as in the library now. And the fucking 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years of fucking university and what the fucking master PhD fucking meaningless names for spending a lot of meaningless times. The one having a misconception, illusion that the one is like knowing something but it doesn't have any. No, just really, simply, exact transfer, exact transport from the one's genuine set to the another, but not a fucking 4, 5, 7 years, but in just a few volumes of book, which contains all, okay? No omission, no omitting any information, but all related are combined into one. It makes very easy to just transfer from the one to the another with just a matter of like months and years, okay? Not fucking decades, okay? The one takes decades to learn something in discipline because those disciplines are not well organized, okay? Organize. Now, in the fucking simple dictionary, which is far easier to make because it is just a combination of fucking words and you can find from all of the related books and documents and articles, newspapers, which contains a lot of diverse words and making a from A to Z alignment and just make it. And I have literally 80 different English dictionaries, but only one, Collins Unabridged Dictionary, that contains virtually all words in existence. So, even though it is the thickest, it has to be because it contains all words, no omission, okay? When the one wants to know all about the English language, knowing fucking only one that kind of book makes all knowledge about the English. And the grammar is just a structure by combining all those words into the order of logic, which is naturally made when the one genuinely understands the words and its structure, and when the one wants to analyze the information and translate into the English, it naturally comes out because it is not about the structure, grammar, for logic sequences for deploying words into different manners, but it is just a delineation of its analyzation as soon as it knows the words corresponding to the information, it generally, it instantaneously, it naturally just combines those words into its analysis. So, as soon as it knows a lot of all words in existence, it makes its own grammar. It makes its own word structure, okay? That is the genesis of what it really means. And creating new word by combining all those, simple compounded or derived to the just a new application, it creates new word. Now, no need to read, except of that one, 79 different English fucking meaningless dictionaries as I have now, but the one and only, okay? Now, when the Collins Unabridged Dictionary, it has to contain the exact dividing from the word and dissection, morphological dissection, analysis for the word from the prefix and stem and the suffixes, and making exact definition, and the words that have a common stem, words that have a common prefix, those are exactly aligned, and what the stem means, and what are the examples, derivatives, compounded words, applications into the extending words, okay? When making a exact, accurate process of that tree, the one can learn English in a matter of a few, 3 to 4 years. Not I did 13 years. Fuck you. Now, exactly what we're doing now, and as a code for its organization, mathematics to its organization, chemistry to its organization, biology under the chemistry to its organization, engineering, all those applications to different situations, a genuine creation of invention are analyzed into a tree, make a tree branches, okay? Processes. So, having poured thousands of fucking meaningless times into studying a certain discipline, no, meaningless. One or a few of bloody, exact, accurate book will do the fucking job in the matter of a few months, not fucking years, and multiplied by fucking years. So, sciences, not natural sciences, environmental sciences, and geology, and what the fucking oceanography, and seaology, topography. No. It is just application of number 1, chemistry, number 2, under the biology, number 3, mathematics, okay? It has no meaning. It's just an application. So all those earth sciences are under the name of chemistry, okay? Biology are under the name of chemistry. It has to make a branches, a tree that starts from the core chemistry to all the ones. And physics, defining a movement, making a definition of energy, going down to the deep essence, okay? So, even though in the fucking universities, all over universities, especially specialized in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, all from core to the derived to the compounded to the newly applicated disciplines are spanning like 100 other disciplines, but the one easily can. No, it just was derived from under 10 count of core discipline, and we make that ramifications, that trees of branches, the branches, and as long as and as soon as it makes the full organization, it can learn 10, 20, 30 disciplines under the same period of time for what one did under the same time for studying one discipline, because those are well organized, having no need to read thousands of books, okay? Well, having studied for exact same discipline, which is A or B, A and B1, the boy A studied that same discipline by reading 1,000 books. B, on the other hand, studied the same discipline with 3 books. What do you say? 333 times of meaningless, literally, times are dissipated. And even, of course, not literally 333 times, because the quantity of those are making, because those are more densified with 3 books, will take much more time than the other one who read 1,000 as per book. But it will shrink at least 80% of time, up to 85%, okay? So having only 15% of time, it studied it knows exactly the same content because those books, those contents are well organized, which had no need to read any other books, okay? Because it spans all of the knowledges, okay? And what the one has as a remaining job is to only find books that are the applications of those core concepts, okay? Applications. So it is all about the level of organization to determine whether the one have spent 10,000 times, 10,000 hours, or just 1,000 hours to study the exact same discipline. The content's organization determines the quality, the fucking quality of analysis. So, on the Collins on average dictionary, since the uh, quality of the book is very great job, well, in fact, I met that book with German dictionary, and it was very great. And after English, no, and after French, Spanish, Italian, and English, it was very great job. So don't need to have any other dictionaries when the one studies the Italian language. No other dictionary, but one and only that dictionary. So no need to have any other like stacking 20 other different 20 different dictionaries as to know the entire word set that are in existence of Italian language, but there is one. Like there is an app for that. There is a book for that. Okay? Collins, an average dictionary, made its job. Not substituting, but superseding all of those combined dictionaries into one. No fucking hell. Exactly applied to the grammar book. On a book that contains a content of grammar starts from the easiest and the core to the hardest, complex one, and its derived structures. All, like we say, all in one. What do you say? All in one.